Harry and Meghan are here watching some baseball as well.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle booed at the baseball, and the delusional Duke has a face like thunder as he increasingly questions the choices he's making in life. Look at that, sells candles online, $75 a piece. Worked for his wife since 2016. Of course, none of this makes sense when you think of the public posturing that this man has taken, and it didn't work either, did it? This was the hoopla as the couple arrived. Oh, he's miserable, isn't he? He's totally miserable. The commentator tried to put a more positive spin on it.
Harry and Meghan are here watching some baseball as well.
Meghan, of course, immediately realised that she was on the screen because that's all she spent the whole game doing. There's a photographer, there's a camera, performing. But unfortunately, there was no way you could cut the fact that when they appeared on the cam to the audience, to the crowd, there were boos ringing out through the whole stadium. Harry, totally mortified. Hans posted Harry and Meghan getting booed at the game at Dodger Stadium. Harry hears it, looks smug, and pretends to laugh. Queer lips of truth, saying they also took their bad luck there and caused the LA Dodgers to lose the game. Whoopsie. I mean, in some ways, you have to feel sorry for Harry being dragged there and then dealing with the fact that he's tried to ignore for a long time, that actually this couple are just as unpopular in woke California as they are in the United Kingdom. But come on, let's take one more look. Sometimes we've got to enjoy things. And it was hilarious too, because of course the baseball people don't give a damn about Meghan's title, and so they just put her name up, Meghan Markle, not Meghan Sussex. And as the Office of CB pointed out, the Duchess won't be happy about that, which is certainly true. Now, I think Tom Sykes made a really good point, actually, on the Royalist blog with his analysis of this, writing, sitting in the front row, Harry looked, frankly, like he'd rather be anywhere else. One of the enduring mysteries of Prince Harry's post-royal life is this: why does he keep putting himself in situations that visibly make him miserable? And Pete Diner, that's royal YouTube sensation, by the way, who was with us. That's such a good point, isn't it? Like, why are you doing this to yourself, Harry? You're mortified. You hate crowds. You're booed, which absolutely plays into all of the insecurities that you now feel about how much you've mucked this up. Why do you allow her to put yourself in this position when we can all tell, just like in New York the other day, the smile at times might be plastered on when he thinks he's on camera, but his absolute despondency shines through.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it. And I don't understand either why he keeps putting himself in this situation. I think he just doesn't have the courage to really tell Meghan how he feels. I think he is in a position that he doesn't feel like he has any power. He feels as if his life is out of control, and he's also trying to prove all the trolls wrong while being miserable. I think he just doesn't want people to know that it's really over. The relationship is not what it used to be, but he wants to save face in terms of he's still with her, But while doing that, he's proving himself to live the most miserable life ever. And that's what he's committed himself to doing. And he has no courage. He's not really truly a man in the sense of, putting his foot down and saying what it is that he wants for his life. He's just succumbed to, okay, well, this is what I have to do to not look like I've ruined my life. So he's just going through the motions, Dan. And you can tell he's not happy. It's very clear. He's not a good actor.
No, that's the
He looks
problem.
miserable.
That's the problem. She's not a very good actor, but she's good enough to hide her feelings, to mask her feelings,
Yes.
to cry on demand. Look at that there. She knows that she has
Yeah.
to look happy. What was interesting too
Yeah.
about the choreography of this P Diner, and as a Californian gal in your past, you probably know more about this than me. But actually, Harry and Meghan have really upset US sports fans as well, because they got the best seats in the house for the World Series baseball game, which meant that some legends like Magic Johnson and Sandy Koufax were actually relegated to the second row. And as Harry's grey suit put it, Johnson is part owner of the team, while Koufax is a 4-time World Series winner and a Hall of Fame pitcher. And lots of people are actually saying, what? Like, why the hell are they in front of Sandy? So the Dodgers fans don't seem to be happy about this for that reason either.
I think, looking at Harry and Meghan in those seats really made a lot of people angry. It's the entitlement. And why would you even want to be in these seats? It's just, calling more attention to yourself and your children out there with you. It just shows that you are so pretentious in everything that you do. You even have to sit in these really good seats and look like you are higher or more important than those that are really our superstars of our state. And it doesn't look good for them. It doesn't make you look well in terms of the people, because you really look pretentious, entitled, and it just, I think, is a bad call for them to even want to sit there, especially if your children aren't there with you. I think they would get some sympathy if the kids were with them, but to even not be there with your kids and to be sitting in these seats, there's so much being said that doesn't make you look good. And why would you continually put yourself in a position to to look like the bad guy? Like, you don't really get any points for being in these seats. And what have you done? Like, who are you? Why do you deserve this? It just, to me, it looks like they just don't know how to put themselves in a position that would make anybody want to have sympathy for them.
100%.
I
And
just don't get it.
And you're mentioning the kids, and there was a huge reaction to this P Diner because, of course, these two, I believe, purposefully, or at least one of them, at least Meghan, purposefully revealed the faces of Archie and Lily over the weekend in this Halloween video where they look totally miserable. But of course, they could have had an amazing life experience at the Dodgers game, but no, that they're left at home. And as Harry's grey suit pointed out, dear Archie and Lily, wish you were here. P.S. We left a video of us to watch with Uncle Marcus, see you around, referring to the fact that Marcus Anderson seems very much back on the family scene now. Nancy Sidley wrote, imagine going to a baseball game and not bringing your kids. But the Royal Grift made the point that we just shouldn't be surprised anymore. Imagine going to the Super Bowl and not bringing your son, but instead Eugenie. And imagine going to the Grand Prix and not bringing your son. Elon Musk had no problem bringing little X. Imagine going to a hockey game in VC and fly Marcus with you instead of your son. Imagine going to watch your husband play polo and never bringing your kids to see their father play. Imagine going to the late Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration and not allowing your kids to be part of a once-in-a-lifetime historic event. Imagine going to the coronation of your father and not bringing your kids to witness their grandfather be crowned king. Imagine going to children's charity events to spend time and exploit other people's children. Meghan and Harry are selfish, cruel pigs. And Pete Diner, when you put it into perspective like that, and I thought the real Royal Griff made a very good point there, because you just think, my God, later in life, these kids who, let's be honest, have had the weirdest childhood, like they're being brought up as if they're Michael Jackson's children, are going to think, holy crap, like, of course we wanted to be there. Of course we wanted to witness history.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a part of their families or Harry's family's life in the UK with his cousins and aunts and uncles. And now they're not even a part of the life in California. You know, who are these kids going to have memories with growing up? Certainly not no other children or experiences in California. I mean, if you're going to be in California, at least have these historical experiences, and they're not even getting that. They're so isolated and protected. You almost have to wonder, you know, the upbringing of these children, is this some kind of neglect? Because to me, it just looks like you are so afraid or so pretentious in your children that they can't be around anybody, that you're depriving them of very basic things that children need growing up. I mean, I don't understand how they're going to see their lives later and think that their parents did their best. I think they're going to look at their parents as being very selfish. And, you know, I think in a way, almost so overprotective that they're doing harm to the children. It's really sad to me. I mean, because I can see it. I can see how miserable these children are going to be later in life when they realize that they did not have any of the experiences, at least that their parents had or that they could have had over in the United Kingdom. There will be
100%.
regrets.
100%. The thing is, though, obviously the regrets are also so obviously coming from Prince Harry now on seeing that footage that Entertainment Tonight ran of them entering the venue. Brittany of the Royal News Network posted, I don't think Harry saw his life going this way. But when you marry Meghan Markle, you must be willing to do anything for even the slightest bit of attention. And of course, he didn't see his life going this way. But as we've pointed out before, Pete Diner, he is now trapped in this cycle where she's like, my products are out today. That's how we pay our mortgage. So you're going to show up. You're going to show up whether you like it or not, because I'm now the breadwinner. And there's so obviously these types of discussions going on because the timing of them turning up yesterday was not coincidental.
No, and you know, I also thought maybe when she said save the date for October 28th was even maybe about accidentally showing the children with the product release. I think this was very intentional. I think Meghan is telling Harry this is about making money. Uh, Harry has to do everything that she says because he doesn't know how to make any decisions, clearly. He's just going along because he has to, and he looks miserable doing it. And at the same time, your children are miserable. Everything about your life right now is going to a place that you, I'm sure, did not want to happen. But now you're in the clutches of the devil at this moment, and you don't have a choice. You have to do it. So go ahead, look miserable doing it because this is your new life, Harry. You have created this. And I really don't feel sorry for him. It's a good learning lesson for him. You've made some mistakes. Now you need to pay up and just suffer through everything that is going on because you put yourself here, nobody else. And people tried to warn him, but he didn't want to listen. And he deserves everything that is happening to him right now.
Yeah, by the way, people also tried to warn Major League Baseball. Stephanie Sidley pointed out that when they posted on their social media, royalty in the front row, they're no longer royals. You should delete this post because it's about to get flooded. And her twin sister, Stephanie Sidley, also pointed out it looked like there was a cameraman behind Harry. So I do wonder if yet again, this is all part of the circus, which is coming, because of course, I wouldn't put it past them to be secretly recording material for what will be the inevitable reality show, Pete Diner. It's only a matter of time.
Absolutely. And I also think that they're possibly working with the Kardashians,
Yeah.
because they do have to do, I mean, that's the only logical thing that has to happen now. They have to do reality, right? I mean, Meghan has become very close to the Kardashians. Kris Jenner, I believe, is heavily consulting with Meghan about making money and collaborating. And that's what the Kardashians do. And she's going to be doing some kind of reality to make money, and Harry has to go along with it, and he knows it, and that's why probably the camera guy is there. It all makes sense, Dan.
It really does. And of course, as I said, it was the desperate anti-Christmas launch yesterday because, of course, Meghan Markle doesn't talk about Christmas, but she talks about holiday, which is sort of an American thing, but I would also say sort of a woke thing too. But come on, P. Diner, £48 candles in the scent of her family home. Honey, pots of honey costing $63 for two. And I said earlier, P. Diner, if anyone dares buy me this for Christmas, I know you're my worst enemy. Okay, that's like a gift that you buy your worst enemy. And with this product launch, P. Diner, she's also doing, I think, the totally inexcusable. I mean, by the way, not only ripping off diptyque candles, but she's also cashing in on the wedding day. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's just a diptyque rip-off. And I mean, who would choose a Meghan Markle scented candle over like a diptyque or a Joe Malone or, you know, it's just not going to happen. But doing, I think, one of the worst things, P. Diner, which is cashing in on that royal wedding day, which was paid for by the British taxpayer. Again, we knew it was only a matter of time. But look, here's the reporting from the Daily Telegraph. The Duchess of Sussex has launched new candles for sale that boast the signature scent of her Montecito family home. The Duchess released the inaugural holiday collection of her brand as ever, which included an offering of 2 candles for $64. In a newsletter accompanying the announcement, it was revealed that candle number 084 is the signature scent that warms her family home, described as an elegant mix of sandalwood, water lotus, and California poppy. The name is also noted as a nod to the Duchess's August the 4th birthday, with the product's description on the website stating its number nods to the birth date of our founder, who created and curated the As Ever collection with love, intention, and care. The description goes on to say that the new candle, which is hand-poured into the white ceramic holder emblazoned with the brand's logo, provides an elevated coziness that feels like a hug. A second candle, this is the one that I'm annoyed about, though, in the collection, number 519, is inspired by the Duchess's wedding day to Prince Harry on May the 19th. The description reads, modern and elegant, love at first light. No 519 is the feel. Number 519 is the feeling of warm sunshine and blue skies surrounded by love and laughter. The signature candle is inspired by the ease and joy of a day that holds Meghan's most cherished memories. Her wedding day. P. Diner, it was only a matter of time, wasn't it? Only a matter of time, because that wedding was paid for by British taxpayers, and we knew it was only a matter of time before she started to try and commercialize that too. And here it is.
Absolutely. And didn't she knock the wedding as just kind of being like a circus when she talked to Oprah about that wedding day was for the people? This wasn't really our day. Like she really made her wedding day sound negative when she spoke to Oprah. So now she's trying to use it as something that she's going to make money from. And then you look at how she treated the royal family, like giving a hug, like her products are supposed to be like reminding you of her family life, giving people a hug. But yet, this is a woman whose children we can see are not really living their best life ever. Harry looks completely miserable, but you want to try to make money off of your family who are not living a great life. You don't even make people feel welcomed in Harry's family, your own family, but you want to make money off of it. This is how we know it's not going to be her money maker. It's not going to help her to make all these millions of dollars because Meghan is a fraud, because the things that she tries to use to be warm and fuzzy are really cold and calculating. Okay. So it is such a farce. You are a joke, Meghan Markle. Really. You think this is something that people can relate to, but you're not this kind of person. You are one of the most despised, hated people around the world. I mean, of course, you have some supporters, right? But people can see right through your fake brand and your fake personality and how you use people. But yet you think this product is going to be an open, welcome door to people to want to go out and buy it. You are kidding yourself. And the more you try, the more you're going to fail. And I think Harry sees it. He's like, okay, what you doing now, honey? Because look, he knows it's just not going to work out. We can see it. You know, Meghan is a
Yeah, I mean, as Princess Carparkle pointed out, even 5 hours since the launch of her holiday collection, nothing sold out. Looks like the days of early sellouts are over. And no, it's not because she 10 times the inventory. It's because she doesn't have many repeat buyers and the curiosity factor is over. And if you actually look at this video, P. Dinah, you can see scrolling down through all of the main products that it's very, very clear that none of them have sold out.
Mhm.
There's also fury about the price point. The Royal News Network writing seriously, $64 for a candle for Meghan's wedding anniversary and birthday. The candles are also given nothing but signature numbers, 519 and 084. The price feels a bit disgustingly greedy, but there are those who are more than willing to waste their money on this mediocre slop. My suggestion is to go with 3-wick candle from Bath & Body Works. You get more creative and seasonally appropriate options and get almost double the candle for less than half the price, which is pretty astonishing. But P. Dinah, the disaster tourism was back yesterday as well. As part of this big relaunch 3.0 for Meghan, she took the cover of Town and Country magazine. Now, Town and Country is one of the few publications that remains slavishly devoted to this woman. But she's done that thing where she doesn't appear on the cover herself. It's her cover, but she's not on it. Do you remember Vogue? The Vogue guest edit a few years ago. It's a bit like that. And here's the headline from inside. Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, interviews Altadena Girls founder Avery Colvert about fighting fire with empathy and activism. Now, remember, this is the young teenager who she sort of hitched her wagon to during all of that disaster tourism crisis. But the write-up is awful, P. Dinah. Earlier this year, the world looked on in horror as fires ravaged neighborhoods across Los Angeles. The question that unified us all, how can I help, was more complicated than it seemed. Ways to get involved were evolving in real time, and there were many people in need. So this is all about her trying to push back against the disaster tourism label. But then in the interview, P. Dinah, she of course made it all about Lily. You never thought your work would grow to be this big, Meghan said. And even if it hadn't, it still would have been meaningful and made an impact. My goodness, if our daughter turns out to be anything like you, I'll be the proudest mom. How can people continue to help you? And it's just so gross in so many ways, isn't it? Because it's like you constantly go on about how you want to protect your daughter when actually we know what the plan is. The plan is for you to be in business with her as soon as possible. But all something like that does is absolutely pile the pressure on the young girl.
Yeah, she's everywhere. Megan is always finding an opportunity to highlight the children, talk about the children. And it's almost like, why do you keep doing this? If, you're trying to run and do your brand, but yet you want to bring attention to your children all the time. But wait, don't look too close. We can't show their face. It's ridiculous. And I think just another thing that the children are going to be resentful about later in life. I think she brings more attention to her children by talking to them, by showing the back of their heads, and also I think trying to make money off of them. It just shows how calculating Megan is and how she'll go, I don't know, by any means necessary to make the money she needs to make, regardless of what Harry wants and regardless of what she is actually doing to the children. Megan is such a opportunist to look out for herself and not really care about the other people that she is trying to, help or to make it look like she's trying to help them. If you really want to help and do good, just go do it. But every little thing she gets involved in has to be some money-making potential for her. Like she didn't just show up to help out at the fires to help. No, she used it as a way to highlight herself as someone who cares about the community and wants to do something and then writes an article about it or highlights someone who's doing something about it. But there's these underlining motives that Megan has around every single thing she does. And that to me is just disgusting. She's not really there to do good for the sake of doing good. It's about helping herself, clearly. This woman is not really trying to be the best person she can be because she wants to bring attention to it to help elevate herself. And we can all see it.
Now, P. Diner, it would be remiss of me today not to speak about our good mutual friend, Lady Colin Campbell, who was very seriously injured earlier in the week at a film premiere in London. I was very concerned about her. And before I wanted to speak about this to all of you, I just wanted to speak to Lady C, make sure she was okay. And I did that last night. And she was actually having huge issues with the hospital and with the health system here in the United Kingdom. And so she asked me if I could speak to her on camera today so that she can really blow the whistle on what's been going on in this hospital, P. Diner. It's appalling because, as she says, if they treat her like this, what are they treating everyone else like? Now, the full conversation is available at www.outspoken.live. That's my Substack. But I want to play some of it now, and I'll get your reaction off the back, P. Diner.
I mean, it is, you couldn't make this up. This, if this were Iraq, and I were an Iraqi woman, and it was the Iraqi medical team, everybody here would be up in arms saying the Iraqis are inhumane, they're torturing this woman. Because I am being tortured every single time I move. It's torment. They literally can't move me.
Well, it's a disgrace. We're going to make sure that Wes Streety knows about this.
But I also pointed out to them on Sunday, I said, this needs to be done as quickly as possible because I can't poo because they can't move me to put anything underneath me. They can't wipe me up if I poo. I said, it needs to be done as quickly as possible. So thereafter I can poo. I have a catheter in that yesterday they managed to, somebody managed to put it so elevated that for the whole of the day, the fluid wasn't going into the bag. It was going into my bladder, back into my bladder. I mean, that's the only mishap that I've had medically here. But the system does not allow for access, for cooperation. It's not that the information is there, because the information has been there since Sunday evening. It's that the information is here, but nobody is allowed to access it.
Disgrace. It is a disgrace. It is a disgrace.
And I'm just glad that I'm in a position to call time on this tune, because can you imagine the thousands of people that this sort of thing happens to every day? They don't have a platform. They don't have a voice. They can't ring up bloody Wes Streety and say, which I was about to do, get yourself into high gear. But hopefully the information will be sent today. Because really, questions should be asked in Parliament as to why. In fact, I may actually, when I hang up from you, I may consider asking one or two MPs to ask questions in Parliament as to how something like this can happen. Because if they have the unmitigated gall, Dan, to do it to me when they know I'm a high-profile individual, and the likelihood is they will get found out, Can you imagine how much worse it is for people who have no profile?
100%. 100%.
Unbelievable.
And this happens every single day. No, thank God for calling it out. And thank God that you are okay, Lady C. I mean, you're not okay, but you know what I mean. You're
Yeah.
with us, and you will be with us, and that
Well,
is the most important thing.
I can tell you something. If this system has its way, I will not be with you. I came in here perfectly healthy, and I will be worn down and left in such a way that they could end up killing me.
God. Well, we're not going to let
Because
that happen.
that's how bad it is.
We're not going to
That's
let
how
that
bad.
happen. We will not let that happen. Just chilling, P. Diner. Poor Lady C.
Oh, wow. Well, she is, you have to love her transparency, right? She really is. Wow, that's crazy what's going on with her right now. Definitely feel sympathy for her and sorry this is happening, but it's always good to be able to bring or to be able to highlight things because yeah, like she said, can you imagine what happens to other people who don't have a platform like she does? Uh Very so sorry to hear this. I will definitely be reaching out to her, but um wow, yeah, how could something like this happen? Right? I
I
mean,
know. It's just awful. It's
I don't
just awful.
understand it.
And look, she also told me that she is being targeted while in hospital by the
Yeah.
Sussex squad, which is just so terrible. If you do want to watch that full interview, Lady C also, by the way, reveals how the accident actually
The Duke of
happened.
Sussex,
It really wasn't
Prince
her fault
Harry,
at all. It was
has once again
utterly
raised concerns about
horrific.
the dangers of artificial intelligence and social media, warning that the technology is putting younger generations at serious risk. Speaking in a new episode of the popular podcast, Hassan Minhaj Doesn't Know, hosted by comedian Hassan Minhaj, the Duke discussed how online platforms are, in his words, farming the brains of young people, and how he believes that users today have very little genuine free will when navigating these digital spaces. When asked about the use of artificial intelligence in altering online images, as well as the question of whether parents should share photos of their children on the internet, Harry explained that while every parent can make their own choices, he personally believes extreme caution is necessary. He said his experiences have shown that posting photographs of children online has become increasingly risky, especially with the rapid growth of unregulated artificial intelligence. The Prince noted that while it is understandable that many families want to share moments with loved ones around the world, the current lack of control over how such images are used should worry parents everywhere. His comments were particularly striking, given that he and his wife, the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, have long chosen to protect their children's privacy by avoiding showing their faces on social media. However, Meghan recently offered a rare glimpse into their family life. She shared a short Halloween-themed video on Instagram showing the couple enjoying a day out with their children, Archie and Lilibet, at a pumpkin patch before returning home to carve decorations together. The post surprised many royal followers, as it briefly showed the children's faces for the first time in roughly 3 years, though the footage was blurred. It marked the first public appearance of Lilibet's face since her official birthday portrait was released in the year 2022. The discussion then turned back to the impact of technology on mental health. Prince Harry, now 41 years old, stated that he and Meghan have often talked about the harmful influence of social media. He reflected that when the couple moved to the United States, their focus was on supporting causes that aligned with their values, and although technology was not originally part of that vision, they soon realised how deeply the tech industry and social media are connected to global suffering and mental distress. Harry said that because of what they now understand, they will be far more cautious about allowing their children access to social media. He added that the real problem lies in how many parents remain unaware of the risks. He emphasised the importance of raising awareness so that more families can protect their children, noting that while many people expect governments to regulate technology, and the industry remains largely lawless and unaccountable. These remarks follow a wave of public attention surrounding the Sussexes, who were recently honoured as Humanitarians of the Year by the organisation Project Healthy Minds. The award, presented during a glamorous ceremony in New York City, recognised their ongoing advocacy for mental health and their work in promoting a safer digital environment for families. The couple was also praised during the World Mental Health Day Gala at Spring Studios for their international efforts to address mental health challenges. On stage, Meghan spoke about the dangers of social media and the importance of protecting children, including their own son, Archie, aged 6, and daughter, Lilibet, aged 4, from online harm. Through their foundation and public engagements, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex continue to push for greater accountability in the tech world and to highlight the mental health crisis affecting young people worldwide. Their message remains clear. Technology should empower, not exploit. And protecting the next generation must be a global priority.